Guys, I'm going to be saying these lies in no particular order. There are so many. Even when she gave the summary of the lies, I was like, girl, you're missing some lies. You are missing some lies. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Chimaka Uba and this is Real Talks with Amaka. Guys, I don't know, you might not really hear what I'm saying. I don't know where I left my mic. I can't find my microphone for the life of me. So, yeah, I hope you're going to hear me very well because hearing me in this conversation is very important, especially ladies. It is important that you hear me. Capiche? Yeah. So if you've not heard about the Teesa'S, Who the F Did I Marry? A TikTok series of about 500 minutes. That's like a 50-part TikTok series. What have you been doing with your life? Where have you been living? Have you been living under the rocks, girl? Have you been living under the rocks? Because guys, I had my jaw dropped like this. Like she would say, my jaw dropped. So, before I get right into the lies that this man came up with, out of the blues, I would like to give a background story for those who do not know who Ressa is. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. So, let's get right into it. So, Ressa is a lady. She met this guy in March 2020. Okay, she calls him Legion on Facebook, and they kind of like hit it off and online, and then they decided to meet up offline. On the day she was supposed to go and meet him offline, I don't know, something happened to our car tires, and they were supposed to meet somewhere, so they met at a gas station. And when they met at the gas station, the guy kind of like fixed attire, and everything was okay. And then, did she fall in love? Yes, she did. She felt she was met at Prince Charming and Knight in Shining Armor. But, if only she knew, she would have listened to the Holy Spirit and disappeared immediately. Her tire blew up. But, anyways, they met, they got married, I think she said by January 2021 or something, and I don't know if I'm right. January 2021, and the marriage ended by August 2021. The marriage was a terrible one for her. Because this man lies. He was lying. He was a pathological liar. He had a lot of things, lies up his sleeves. He wasn't who he said he was. And yeah, he was just a terrible liar. If you really want to know about the Teesa'S story, please go on TikTok and search for her handle. I'm going to attach it anywhere. And then when you search for it, you watch. But here, I am about to give you guys a little summary of the lies that this guy said. The lies were indeed not needed. The lies were not needed, was unnecessary. I wonder why he did it. If it is not mental problem, that man needs help. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's get right into the lies that this man told Teesa'S. Guys, I'm going to be saying these lies in no particular order. Like, I'm going to be saying it according to how it came to my spirit. There are so many. Even when she gave the summary of the lies, I was like, girl, you're missing some lies. You are missing some lies. I don't know if you're missing it or you probably just do not want to talk about it. You just want to be over it and move on. One of the lies that he said he had money, but this guy is broke as hell. He had no money. He even showed a bank account statement that showed that he had money in his account. He showed that he had a lot of money. He would take her to different car dealerships to test drive cars and everything, knowing fully well that he did not have money. There was no money in his account. Although at the time they were married, Ressa did say that they were living together. They know each other. They lived together for a while before they finally got married, like January 2021. So this Ressa did say that, I really hope I'm pronouncing her name right. They say that while she was married to this dude, he was paying the bills, the house bills. Like she said, it wasn't anything outrageous or expensive, but at least he was paying the bills. So he would take her to different car dealerships to to test cars, to test drive cars, because he actually knew she liked BMW cars. So he would take her around this car dealership. So it was one car a week, 1 week or the other. It was just different cars. She was just test driving different cars, and he was getting that excited when he knew deep down in his spirit, mind, and soul that he had no money to pay for those cars. Another thing he lied about is that this is not actually, this is like an addition to the car drive there's driving cars of a thing, taking out different car dealerships, getting all excited. They saw different houses. He even raised an order for a house that he does not have money for, about $750,000. This man did not have Shingbang. He did not have Shingbang, and he was raising an order for a house of over 750K dollars. The audacity. The audacity. But anyways, he knew definitely that he did not have money, but the house fell through because there was this house that he was supposed to buy. He actually lied that he has raised an order for it, and Ressa had to find out that the house was given to another couple, and he was even still lying that he actually raised an order for the house, which was a very terrible, big lie. But Rissa still gave him, this was at the beginning of the whole thing, Rissa gave him a benefit of the doubt and felt like, okay, she just brushed it off. According to her, she brushed it off. Like, maybe something happened. You know that kind of thing that all your warning signals is going off in your head, but because of love, you're still in love and you're blinded by love, you will not tell yourself the truth. Like, this is what is happening. This is what happened. Why am I? You just keep making excuses for this person, even though you know this person is not good for you or this person is lying. So that was the case. She saw different houses virtually because it was during COVID. They didn't get any of the houses because Baba does not have money. They asked the one that would have gone through. They asked for proof of funds, and I don't know. I've forgotten what really happened. The lies are so much. It is hard to keep up. So yeah, that is the number one lie. I won't be numbering it because I will lose track of the numbers. This guy lied about talking to uncles, aunties, sister, made up having a sister, made up having brothers, and lied about being a twin. He would literally call them up on phone and be talking to them while he was talking to himself. He would literally fake conversations like, oh, she's saying hi. Oh my God, how you doing? Rissa is here. She's saying hi. All those kind of things, like making a back and forth conversation between Rissa and the other person that is on the phone when there was absolutely nobody on the phone. How crazy can you be for you to do that? You have mental issues. Serious mental issues. So, Rissa found out about this a little while, like months after. He made up lies about talking to a sister. He had no sisters. There were no sisters nowhere. He talked about having an uncle, and the uncle has been dead. The uncle has been dead since forever. He talked about he literally talked about having, like, he made up siblings that were non-existent. Just keep that in mind. He made up siblings that were non-existent, that he doesn't speak to. Siblings that, even the ones that are alive, that he actually has, they don't talk to him. They've got no contact for a while. And then he made up a lie about his father having other kids, like having kids on his mom. He made up lies about his father having kids on his mom. Guys, I really need to talk fast. We are losing daylight because I'm actually using daylight to record this video. That's one of the lies that this man said to Ressa. Teesa'S. I think I'll just start without calling her R, because her name I'm finding it hard to pronounce her name. I don't know why. It's simple, Ressa. I didn't say this, but he also lied about having a cousin that he doesn't have. I'm going to be reading it from my phone this time because I have to write it down. So he lied about having a cousin that is non-existent. Junebug. I wrote down his name. The cousin does not exist. He lied about the school he went to. He lied about the school he went to. This one is crazy, yeah, because he was caught in his own lie. And he lied another lie to cover up the lie that he had lied. if this makes sense to you. He said he went to a particular school, I think St. Diego's, something. He lied about attending the schools. And then when Ressa did a background check to see if he actually attended the school, it turns out the school does not have any record of him. So now, Ressa confronted him and be like, did you really attend St. Diego's? And then he said, yeah, he did. His father put him in as a private student. So that's why they don't have any records of him. And I was wondering, is there anything like private records, like private students, so you don't have any records? I really don't know. Maybe, I'm in Nigeria, so I don't know if there are anything like that over there in the US. So if there's anything like private students over there in the US and they will not have any records of you, please let me know in the comment section, because it is very important. He lied about catching his ex-wife cheating on him. That was why he divorced her for a marriage of 5 to 6 years. Meanwhile, the marriage lasted only 6 months, and he lied that she wanted to take his money. That was why, and he was one that filed for a divorce. And what other lie did he lie against that poor woman? So he lied a lot of lie against the poor woman, which Ressa found out later when she called the woman, because there's a point you will get to with a man that is showing some crazy sign, and then you have to call the woman previously and be like, I am calling you from woman to woman, as a woman. I'm coming to you as a woman to know the actual story of what happened. So that was what Ressa did after she has gone through a lot of lies. So she decided to consult the woman, to actually ask the woman, what the fuck happened between you and, I'm sorry for using that language, what the hell happened between you and my present husband, my present husband. So she did find out that he lied on his ex-wife about cheating, about his money, because there's no money anywhere. So which money did she want? And she found out that he was also a pathological liar. That was why she filed for a divorce and ended the marriage of 6 months with him. And just to put it out there, this man actually signed a proper affidavit. He signed a proper affidavit, which means that he doesn't have any money. So which money was she after? Legion. Which money was she after? I didn't even know that existed, that you can't get any adli money when you break up with your husband, because he's so poor. He couldn't even afford the divorce proceeding. So yeah, just put it out there. Now let's move to the next lie. This man lied about where he had lived previously. According to her, he actually lied that he has been in California, and none of his records shows that he has been in California. He actually lived with his wife in Georgia. He actually lives with his ex-wife in Georgia. He has been in Georgia, and I think the only other place he has been to is Pennsylvania. I hope I'm getting the pronunciation right. And he has never been in California. When Ressa finally broke up the marriage, she found out that her husband went about telling people that she had a baby for him, even though she miscarried that baby. He said it in a way that people will send gifts to him and everything. I'm telling these lies on behalf of this man, not me, in no particular order. So I'm telling it as it comes to my head. So he went about telling people that she had a kid, and even people were even thinking about contributing money for him to as person we just born now, let's bless him. We're going to give our niece or nephew or daughter money for the newborn, but it's a lie. She miscarried that baby. Then he went about lying too, that she cheated on him after she broke off the marriage. Like, she sent him, kicked him out of his house. He went about telling people that the same story that he said about his ex-wife, that he caught her cheating with a law enforcement agent, and that law enforcement agent tried to use gun on him, his work weapon on him, and they should please help him to report the non-existent law enforcement agents so that the internal affairs can look into it. He lied about having an older brother who is older than him by 2 years, or he's older than the older brother by 2 years. But the truth of the matter is, he's actually a twin. He has a twin brother who lives in Nashville, which he lied that there was a time he lived in Nashville. Guys, there's so many lies. I'm sure I'm not going to get enough of people. If you remember any of the lies, please put it in the comment section. It's very important. Very, very important. So, he actually has a twin, and Ressa find out about this when she called her elder brother, like his elder brother, when the whole, thing has blown up and everybody in the family knew about Ressa, because apparently a lot of people did not know about her, because it was faking the calls, and she thought they knew, but they did not know, and they got married during COVID, where no family member could come, and they got married at the registry or something. So yeah, he lied about having an older brother, 2 older brothers, why one of them was his twin. This dude lied about being the VP of his company. That's the vice president of his company, where he's actually a fuck lifter. Like, that is what he does. And he's a temp worker. He's a temp worker who is a forklifter in his company, and he lied about being VP and lied about having worked there for years when he's just a temp worker, and previously had worked in a grocery store. This dude lied about his dad working in the law enforcement, when in reality his dad has always been a truck driver. Like, most career of his life, he had been a truck driver. He lied about his father, but his father indeed worked in the correctional office. He was a correctional officer for a little amount of time, but his career, most of his years, was a truck driver, and he said his dad worked in a law enforcement agency. So listening to all these lies, and I'm just wondering, why? He lied about his mom being a retired teacher, and he lied about his dad and mom starting a church together. He indeed, in fact, took her to the church in Augusta and was like, "This is the church that my father started," and that was a big lie. According to his elder brother, his dad does not go to church. That even in Easter and Christmas, his father does not go to church. That the days that Christians would normally go to church, that the man does not go to church. That his mother did go to church a little, but not his father. Not to talk of starting a church. He made Ressa send gifts to a non-existent niece. Guys, I'm losing daylight. This video is going to be dark as hell, but it's not going to be worth it. So yeah, I did lose daylight. So this is me the next day, continuing the lies that this guy has told this poor woman. He lied and took this lady to a church and told her that his father and his mother started this church, only for her to find out when everything blew up and he sent him packing from his elder brother that his dad does not go to church. Even Easter's, he doesn't go to church. Even on Easter Day, he doesn't go to church on Christmas Day. And like a day that, even if you're not a normal Christian, no, you would just go to church just to remember your God. That his father did not even attend church on those days. Not to talk about starting up a church, and his father drinks, smokes, does everything. And the only person who goes to church is his mother. He lied about having a work phone, when he doesn't have a work phone. There's no work phone at all. It was just his personal phone that he was using to run his own external paroles with other ladies. And guys, lies becoming too much. He lied again that his his ex-wife's daughter died from COVID. Like, his ex-wife has another daughter with another man, and that she died from COVID. He lied that his mother and his father, I think his mother, died from COVID, or his grandma. Like, everybody was literally just dying from COVID in this man's life, and it was a big lie. It was all a lie. His own is even what that he took her to a grave in a cemetery, which apparently was a cemetery that he had walked in before, and took her to a gravestone, and said, "This is where my grandmother or grandfather was buried, or mother and father was buried." And it was all a lie. Like, it was basically a lie. Those were not his parents or his grandparents. I'm trying to remember which one he said that was buried there. He lied that he was a registered voter when he wasn't a registered voter. He wasn't a registered voter, and he lied that he was a registered voter. He lied that he played with arena football when he does not play football. He has not played football in his life. He doesn't play football, but he lied. He also lied about having different savings accounts, that he had a bank account with Chase, and that the reason why she's not, because there was a time he wanted a joint account, and he was like, okay, if you want a joint account, you're going to show me your statement of account, and I will show you mine, then we can do joint accounts. And then he lied about having a particular joint account, a particular account with Chase Bank or Bank of America, I can't remember, and it was all a lie. It was a lie. He had no such bank, and he refused to show her the statement of account because he made up a silly excuse that his uncle told him that a woman does not need to know how much you have in your bank account. See, the lies are so exhausting. I wonder how Ressa could cope, like being with a pathological liar. The period was very short, pretty short, but the impact is so crazy. Like, there were so many lies, unnecessary lies that I do not even understand why. But anyway, she came online recently and said that he has diagnosed schizophrenia, and there's this other sickness that he has, is it bipolar disorder or something? So it got to a point when I was listening to the lies, I just knew that this guy is not normal. This guy has a mental disorder, because his family members, they said that this has always been the way he has been behaving since he was a kid. He has been lying since he was a kid, and that it's not like they didn't try to get him help. They tried to get him help, but he refused to take help. He refused to accept help. And recently now, the guy is on the internet trying to gaslight the whole internet into believing that she is the liar, and that she actually cheated on him with Barry. She cheated on him with Barry, and that Barry tried to kill him. Like, trust the internet to dig up stuff. They dug him out on Facebook, and he's currently making TikToks, granting exclusive interviews, talking about everything, saying that Ressa is the one that is lying, that it's going to get messy. It's going to be a long ride, because apparently this guy is about to spin his new webs of lie to get the internet on his own side. And I've seen some people that are getting on his side being like, oh, what if she's lying? But you can't make all those things up. You can't. And two people cannot be wrong at the same time. His ex-wife said, oh, the same thing happened to you. And I think his first ex-wife came online to start talking about it. I've not really done gone ahead, aside from the updates from Ressa. The only update from the whole thing that I've watched is from Legion. I watched Legion, and honestly, I could see the lies through his eyes in the videos. I could see the lies through his eyes. Well, I'm happy for my own girl, Ressa, because she finally got her dreams. She got a trip to Paris, a trip to London. BMW replied her. They said they are going to look for the kind of car that Ressa described that she actually liked, and it was so lovely to see. It was so lovely to see that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Like, after going through all that, you actually need something to console you. It's not going to be easy recovering from this kind of experience. But I do want to chip in something. For people who are in the US and the UK, who are in the Western world, you guys have the opportunity to do a background check on the person you're actually dating. You guys have records and everything, and it's accessible to everybody. I feel like before you embark on marriage, especially for somebody you've known for a very short period of time, you should do your background check before marriage, not after marriage, or when you start seeing some kind of red flags. That's when you start, it's gonna be too late. Even before you start seriously dating the person, like when you find out you actually like this person, I would want to date this person, do your background check to find out that this person is a felon. The funny thing is that he is a felon who went into people's house to start patting them, that he was patting that people, acting like an officer when he's not actually an officer, and that got him a jail sentence that he does at the weekend, and he even denied that he was never in jail or anything. So before you embark on dating anybody, do your research, do your background check. You guys can do it. Over here, we cannot. I even heard that there is this law that is available in some parts of the West where you can actually do a background check on somebody. You can walk up to the police to do a background check on somebody to find out if they have any history of sexual assault, murder, or harassment or domestic violence. Like, you guys are really, really lucky. We don't get that over here. You can't even walk into the Nigerian police and be like, I want to find out about this thing. You have to be a lawyer, be something. Like, an individual cannot do those kind of background check. I feel like if you meet somebody and you've known the person for a very short period of time, or even before you start dating the person, do a background check. It's not about love. Everything is really not about love. Do a background check. You guys are very good at record keeping. Find out, is this person okay? Is this person normal? Am I dating a mad person? Am I going to be dating a mad person or a pathological liar? It's just the safe way to move in this world now, because guys, things are happening in Combe. You really have to be careful. Guys, that's all for today. If you feel like there's something that I do not drop in this video, please drop it in the comment section, because the lies are so much that I can't even remember all of it. It's crazy. Like my video, share my video, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to see you guys in my next video. I love you. Bye bye. Mwah.